Hello everyone, Joshua Myers here.
And I'm Abe.
I'm Jay.
And Josh too.
Hello everyone, Joshua Myers here. And today I'm going to be reviewing Knives Out from 2019.
I know he didn't commit suicide. So look me in the eye and tell me what happened to my grandfather.
Critics are raving. Knives Out is one of the best movies of the year.
You think one of us killed him?
It's an ingeniously creative murder mystery.
I have eliminated no suspects.
You know something. Spill it.
And hugely satisfying with a modern twist.
No, stay there!
Oh my God.
I gotta do this more often.
Knives Out, rated PG-13.
Knives Out stars Daniel Craig, Chris Evans, Jamie Lee Curtis, Don Johnson, and is directed by Ryan Johnson. The plot of Knives Out is that the circumstances surrounding the death of crime novelist Harlan Thrombey are mysterious, but there's one thing that renowned detective Benoit Blanc knows for sure. Everyone in the lively dysfunctional Thrombey family is a suspect. Now Blanc must sift through a web of lies and hearings to uncover the truth. Now before I get into this review, I would like to say that I had not seen Knives Out until recently. This was the first time I've seen it. One of the reasons being is because Ryan Johnson at this point is a very controversial director, mostly because of his involvement in The Last Jedi, Star Wars The Last Jedi. And that film made just a huge division in the Star Wars fan base. You know, you got people who on one side love the hell out of the movie and claims it's one of the best Star Wars movies out there. And then on the other spectrum, you got people who say it's just complete and utter shit. And, you know, it's the worst Star Wars movie out of them. And then you got people like me, which if you've seen my review of The Last Jedi, I'm like, there's some things I like about the film and some concepts and ideas that I like. And even the moral message, I think, was really good. And then there's other stuff that I thought just didn't work with the film whatsoever. Like, I thought there was a lot of moments and, like, especially the two subplots with Poe Dameron, Finn, and Rose could just been either cut out or just written a lot differently. So yeah, I'm not one of those people who absolutely hates The Last Jedi, but I'm not one of those people who just praise the hell out of it. And for me, the more so reason I was worried about Knives Out and why I didn't really watch it is because of just, honestly, the director, Ryan Johnson. And that's mainly because of, in my own personal opinion, I think how he deals with criticism. Because there's a lot of people that gave him constructive criticism in terms of plot and story in The Last Jedi. And he comes out with tweets like this.
You ruined Star Wars. Okay, I have to draw the line at you dragging your drooly little man baby butt. Cross the Wheel of Fortune answers account. Back to the swamp. You're free/blocked.
And I'm like, that's very unprofessional. I would have handled it differently if that was me. So yeah, that's kind of why I've been hesitant to watch this movie. But then I've been hearing a lot of good things about it, actually. So I decided to check it out. I had not much idea in terms of what this movie was. The most I knew this was a murder mystery movie. Had a bit of comedy. I knew it starred Jamie Lee Curtis, Chris Evans, and Daniel Craig. So I knew all that much. What made me want to watch it was me and one of my brothers actually did watch a trailer to Knives Out. It looked really good, actually. So I was really looking forward to seeing if Ryan Johnson would be able to pull him out from the primordial ooze that was the whole division of The Last Jedi, and see if he could make it big with this one. And I do got some thoughts on this movie, so let's just get right into them. One of the things I love about Knives Out is the cinematography, which is something I loved about The Last Jedi too. It seems like Ryan Johnson really knows how to work the camera and everything in terms of like getting great cinematic shots and everything, like stuff I probably would do if I had the budget. I also thought overall the story was really good too, actually. It's just a typical murder mystery movie, which for the plot is very simple. It's basically this detective trying to figure out the cause of death of one of the main members of this family, and he suspects that one or more of the members of the family were responsible for the death, because they deemed it as suicide, but there just was something with the detective that just didn't seem right to him. which the detective is portrayed by Daniel Craig, who I've heard of. I just never seen any of his movies. I know he was James Bond for a while in the James Bond movies, and I thought he was really good in this movie. I did. He was a bit weird. He kind of had a weird accent and everything, and just how he portrays his characters is weird. But funny too, actually. There were some moments with him I actually did laugh at. And that's another positive thing too, is that there's actually comedy in this movie. And for me, was actually a pretty funny movie. Actually, like, especially during scenes where the family's just arguing and bickering with each other. There's some funny stuff with that, actually. Oh, and also in terms of acting, all of them were so good. All the actors were so good. Like, Jamie Lee Curtis was really good. You know, I haven't seen too much movies with her in it. I've only seen the original, like the Halloween movies, and I've seen Prom Night. So I've seen I haven't seen like a handful of her movies or anything, but she was really good in this, actually. And just all the other actors were just so good and funny, too. Actually, there was tons of times I was just laughing at a lot of the stuff. I also liked how the film kind of intercut between flashbacks and that. Basically, people are telling their side of the story of what happened during a certain night before the events of the death of their family member. So they're telling it one way, but then the flashbacks are showing it as something completely different. So trying to really throw the audience off and not really sure who to trust, really. I even like when they do, like, supposedly do get to the reveal. Without getting too much spoilers, I will say this. I thought it was kind of weird that they placed the reveal halfway through the movie, because normally that would be saved for the end. But Rian Johnson did something in which he flipped that around. There's more pieces to this puzzle than you initially thought. And I really like that. I was invested in this movie the whole way through. I was invested. I wanted to know what was going on. There's actually some genuine suspense and tension throughout this movie, and I was on the edge of my seat. There's a bit of action sequences in this movie too, and I thought Rian Johnson did that amazingly. And knowing that too, in terms of the mystery element, he did that really well too. Like, I was really, throughout the whole entire movie, trying to guess who did it. And there were times, like, Rian Johnson threw me off so many times that I thought, I wasn't pissed off by it. I liked it, because with a murder mystery movie, or just a mystery film in general, you could end up doing that. And I think he didn't do it to the point where it was like too like over the top or anything like that, or you know, was too repetitive. Because at first I was like, okay, maybe Jamie Lee Curtis did it, or I don't know, maybe it was this guy who did it, or I don't know, was it any of them who did it? Was it somebody else and not somebody in the family? I have no idea. And then by the end, when it's revealed who committed the act, I was generally surprised by it. Because I was not expecting that person to be the murderer. I wasn't. Great job on that, Rian Johnson. I definitely give you kudos to that. The music is also pretty good too. This is one bit of music I wouldn't mind having on soundtrack CD. In fact, this is another one I might get the soundtrack to at some point. And one of the things I do like about this movie, without giving too much spoilers as well, is that I love how it doesn't set up for a sequel. I mean, if you really wanted to, you could do a sequel to Knives Out. I don't see how there's any way you could necessarily do a sequel to Knives Out and have it be as good or even remotely good at all. That's it for my positives, and let's just get right into my negatives. I don't think I got none. I really got no negatives for this movie. This was just an awesome movie. So let's get to my rating. So that's it. I'm going to give Knives Out a 5 out of 5 stars. This was an awesome surprise for me, because I was really worried about this film with the person directing, like who was in charge of directing and everything in the last film he directed. But honestly, I think Rian Johnson saved himself with this movie. I think, honestly, Last Jedi could have ruined his career. Again, I don't think it was an awful movie by any means, but, you know, considering the division, I think it could have definitely ruined his career. But I think Knives Out definitely saved it. And honestly, I knew Rian Johnson had the potential to be a great director from just watching The Last Jedi because of, like, the cinematography, some of the ideas and concepts. But here, I think what he does best with is original films. You know, like original stories, original characters. And this movie is that original story, original characters. I noticed throughout like my 31 Days of Halloween review series and just this year in general, and with this movie, I realized something. One of my favorite genres of film is mysteries. I love the mystery genre, actually, because it's like when it's done well, oh, they're so fucking good. They're so fucking good when it's done well. And this is one of those movies that's done so fucking well. And I was really worried about it. But now I'm honest, like, because I have yet to see his other film. Like, one of his other films I heard was pretty good, Looper. I might check that out now. In fact, I know for a fact I'm probably going to check that out now, because this was so good. Let me give Rian Johnson a bit of advice. I think basically the stuff that showcases your strengths, Mr. Johnson, is original movies. Original movies that have original character story. Maybe just continue doing that. I mean, we need more original stuff, Mr. Johnson. We really do. So that's it for this review. Thank you guys for watching, and see you next time.